What's going on, guys? I'm Renegade, and welcome to what is either going to be the greatest project I do or the worst. Yeah, I'm about to do a really big project with my car, and considering my car is a big car, yeah, it's gonna be big anyway. I'm gonna take the opportunity now to say, if you're not subscribed to me, hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video, because this is not going to be something I don't want to miss. This is going to be big. So, for those of you who do not know, I am the very proud owner of a 1987 Volvo 245. That's the 240 wagon. The 5 designating how many doors. So if you've got a wagon, it's 5. The hatch is included as a 5th. If you have a sedan, like the one I'm leaning against, not my car, you've got a 244, 4 doors. And yes, there is a 242 with 2 doors. But mine's the wagon. And I've owned this car since the day I got my license. I bought it for $300. And I have loved the car since then. I know, it's not the fastest. It's certainly not the newest. It doesn't have all the latest bells and whistles and ding dongs, huge wadgets, but I don't want any of that stuff anyway, so I don't care. I love this car. Now, there is something that I've always wanted to do with this car. One thing that I wish was different. We're gonna get into that in a moment. You guys probably saw me last week do a video on this car where I took care of the oxygen sensor and I put an air-fuel ratio gauge in. And I said, well, I really got to retune the car so it's running properly. I never got a chance. The reason is, when I came out to my car, I found this. At some point during the day, a rock was thrown out of a mower and shattered my rear window. Well, that sucks. The other problem is that, well, see, this is a problem overall, because I live in the northeast of America, which means salt air, which means salt on the roads during the winter, which means metal rusts. And I have a metal car. As in, the entire thing is metal. This is a unibody car, and it is all metal. So rust is a thing. And unfortunately, there was a little bit of rust around where the rear glass is. And glass companies won't replace the glass if there's rust there, because it's a liability. Yeah. That's fun. So replacing the glass was going to be expensive. And it's going to be difficult, if at all possible. So, what am I going to do? Well, luckily, this is not our first rodeo with these cars. The sedan that I'm leaning against right here is actually my sister's car. And at a point, everybody in my family, my sister, my mother, my father, and myself, all drove 240s. My sister has now this car in her new car. My mother still drives a 245, although it's now a different one. Ages ago, my father's '89 sedan burnt up the clutch, popped a huge fuel leak, and had a huge problem with the suspension and whatever. We stripped it clean. My mother's car developed an engine problem. It was more cost efficient at the time to buy another one and save everything for later on. So we stripped that one down entirely. I mean, like, when this car left here, it didn't look like a car. So luckily, we just so happen to have a spare hatch. Only one problem with it. It's blue. It's a blue hatch on a cream car. It's not a good look. You also might notice there's a hole here. Now, I don't often show it on camera because it's kind of an embarrassing thing. But many years ago, when it was really snowy and nasty out, I was going down a road and minding my own business, being careful, and a car came flying down the road at me, careening all over the place, fishtailing, obviously with no traction, and it was on my side of the road. It was in my lane. So I moved over to let the nut job go by, because he's clearly out of control. And in the process, I hit black ice, and I went for a slide. And we're not talking like, hey, you should have had winter tires. Hey, isn't four-wheel drive better? Isn't traction control better? No, we're talking about like nothing would have saved this. It was just a sheet of black ice. And no matter what you have, you hit black ice like that, you're just gonna go sliding because there is no traction. And because it was a twisty road, I ended up getting a little sideways, which turned into very sideways, and I'm trying to counter steer to correct, and there's no traction. I'm just sliding all over the place. The good news is that in the process of fishtailing around like an idiot, while I was trying to save the car, you know, doing all the right things, not on the brakes, not on the gas, you know. And of course, this was back when the car was an automatic, so it was, yeah. I was heading towards a telephone pole. So I hit the gas, I chucked the wheel, missed the telephone pole, kissed the fire hydrant, leading to this nice gash. The sad thing is, that was actually many years ago. The reason I haven't fixed it yet is because in order to do it, it involves having another panel to weld in. As I said, this is a unibody car, which means that this panel is the entire car. This roof, side, all the way around. So sure, I could get a new panel and I could weld it in. But the car is cream. It's actually a Volvo cream. Okay, I can get the paint from Volvo, but it's gonna be stupid expensive. And that paint is gonna be 30 years fresher than this. Which means it's gonna look different anyway. I could color match it, but that's gonna be stupid expensive too. Yeah. So in order for me to do this, I would have had to have painted the entire car. I could paint it cream, like I said, pay out the ass for it, or I could change colors. That is where we are today. I mentioned earlier that I had something that I wanted to do for a long time, and that something is to paint the car. When I bought this car, it was $300. That was, does math, carry the two, about 15 years ago. Yeah, I'm old. I haven't put that much money into the car throughout the course of me owning it. And more importantly, I love this car. I love this car to the point of saying, very adamantly, I'm not selling it. There is no plan at all, ever, for me to sell this car. So any money I put into it, it's not like I'm losing the money because it's not going to be resellable. It's not going to be sold, so what the hell does it matter? So, I'm going to paint the car. Not only am I going to paint the car, but I'm going to take care of this, because that's no bueno. What started off as a broken rear window leading to a new hatch has also led to me finally taking care of the nasty hole and the other little rust spots that started. Sadly, as I said, folks, I live in the Northeast, which means rust happens. Might notice that some of this is already primered because I've taken care of some rust. It's up here. It's also dirty and dusty, but I'll take care of that later. Some rust that had to be bondoed and then sanded, and I just gave it a shot of primer to protect it for now. You can see up here I had to take my trim off. Bondo, fresh Bondo that needs to be sanded. Got some up here too. Got some over here because I had a couple little dings that needed to be taken care of. And protection. This is going to be very much a case of do it once, do it right. Make sure everything is good and done. Yep. So over the next week or so, that's what I'm doing. And I already have the paint. I already ordered some paint online. This is some of it. There's more of it in there. And there's my door with parts I will have to harvest. So, I said I'm going to paint the car. So I'm going to take care of the body work. I want to paint the car a different color. I don't know if I said that or not. Well, if I didn't say it already, I think I implied it, that I wanted to paint the car a different color. So that's what's going to happen. In the end of all this little journey, the car will be a different color, be the color I wanted. All the body work will be done. I'll be able to drive it again, because driving with that window, like one good bump, it was going to gone. Now luckily, you saw it's already on there. That's because my father and I put the door on before, because we didn't want that to break in my car and have a pain in the ass cleaning project. Now if you're a new subscriber, or maybe you're wondering whether or not I am capable of doing this stupid project, the answer is yes. So far to date, I have painted 3 motorcycles and a truck using the Duplicolor paint. The motorcycles have come out really cool. You saw the Intruder. If you're already subscribed, you've been following me for long enough. I also painted my XJ600 using it. I also painted my 1982 Yamaha Maxim 400 with it. And ages ago, I did paint a truck. It was a work truck, the job where I was working, and I had, I think it was like 2 days, maybe 3 days turnaround to do the entire truck. Like, it was our work truck. We used it. It was kind of like a farm truck. We used it in the campground. We picked up the trash using it one day. I pulled it in the garage. 3 days later was the next trash day, and we had to use it again. So very short turnaround. It didn't come out quite as well as I was hoping. I just didn't have the time to do the prep work and the sanding work and all that. But it came out pretty good. Like I said, especially for, that was the first time I actually painted a vehicle, like a car, and I had like no time to do it. So, not bad. This obviously I'm going to be taking my time with because I want the finish to be nice. So this ought to be interesting, huh? So that brings me to talking about today's sponsor. I'm just kidding, sort of. I don't have a sponsor necessarily, but when all this happened, when I found the broken glass, I was talking to my girlfriend about it and let her know like where I am, what the plan was. Okay, we're gonna be using this, we're gonna be doing this. And she graciously offered to help me with this project. And I cannot thank her enough, because it really means a lot to me. One, that she's so supportive of me doing this craziness. Two, she likes the car. So that's a benefit, you know. Some women don't like these cars. Some people don't like these cars, and certainly some people don't like old cars. So, yeah. And three, she thinks it's a really good idea for me to get what I've always dreamed of. So, she's willing to help me. So, thank you, Stephanie. So I guess you could call her a sponsor of these videos. But yeah, I've got the paint, I got the paint guns, I got the time. Now it's all about doing the work. So I already started doing some. The car is a mess from it, but I already got some done. Got some Bondo to do, a lot of sanding to do, and I'm going to be searching for all the rust. I'm getting rid of all the rust because I don't want any rust on this car. Rust will deteriorate. I'd rather get it done and have it all nice and solid. So I hope you guys are looking forward to this insane project. I'm going to keep this video short for today, but I got a lot coming. We're going to do some cool things with this as we're doing the project. So if you guys are looking forward to this, go ahead and hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will make sure to respond to them all. And if you guys want to help be a sponsor of this project, because Duplicolor is not sponsoring me, Bondo's not sponsoring me, Frog Tape is not sponsoring me. I have no sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor of this video series, go ahead, feel free to donate on coffee.com. Basically, for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can donate to this project. I'll take any of the proceeds from that right into this project build, and I'll give you a special thank you at the end of the video of this whole painting series. And right now, if you donate through coffee.com, you also get a free downloadable background for your phone that I actually drew. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I am, although I will admit that I'm a little terrified of the work that has to go into this. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. But I hope you guys look forward to it, and we're going to get to it real soon. So until next time, guys, y'all have a good one. Keep rocking and rolling. I'm going to keep taking care of business and try and get as much of this done as I can. See you in the next one.